What's up, everyone? My name's Edmund Chu. This is my friend right here, Jonathan Shu, and I'm gonna be doing a draw my life on him today. So I'm drawing his life today. All right, so I'm gonna be asking him questions, and I'm gonna be drawing it. And at the end, I'm gonna show you guys the final product, and I'm gonna run through it with you guys again. All right. So Jonathan, where were you born?
I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yes, sir.
And what day were you born on?
It was September 18th of 2002. So, yeah, as you draw, I guess I'll just story tell and fill the gap. Born in 2002, so I just turned 20 about a month ago. I was born and raised in Texas, so I was born probably 40 minutes away from where I live currently. It was a city called DeSoto, Texas, and then I currently live in Colleyville, Texas, and I went to Colleyville Heritage High School. Texas is just different, I guess, than California, obviously. A lot of people ask me why, or if I liked it here more than Texas. I'm not quite sure. I'm still figuring that out. Culture is definitely different. Food is different. I don't know. They're both very good places. September means I'm a Virgo. Not quite sure what Virgo means specifically. Not too big into astrology, but I was just told I was a Virgo, so I remember that. Yeah, if you don't know, Dallas is in like middle area. So if you imagine like Texas, somewhere in like middle top-ish. Pretty much it. A lot of land, a lot of cheap land. It's very nice.
Cool. All right. Born in Dallas, Texas, September 18th, 2002.
Yes, sir.
20 years old. And okay, next question. What was your childhood like? What was growing up in Texas like?
Okay. My parents actually made me do a lot of different activities.
Okay.
Let's see. I learned how to swim, so that was one of the first things I started with. So swimming, I swam starting when I was about 3 or 4 years old, and then I carried that all the way to, I believe it was 7th or 8th grade. I swam at this place called Lifetime Fitness, which is just a nice gym, like a typical recreational gym. And then I joined a competitive team called Mars. I actually don't remember what it stands for. It stands for something like Mid-Cities, something recreation swimming, I believe is what it was. And it was just a casual like club. I would practice about 4 times a week for 2 hours a day. It was a lot of work, but it was a good workout. So yeah, swam for a long time. Yeah, I don't know. I think swimming is probably what got me started into fitness as well. I think swimming was my first sport, and then I carried into other things like tennis and volleyball, and love to work out now at the gym. So I love to go hang out with people, or not hang out, but work out with people at the gym. But swimming is where I started.
All right. Young swimmer, started at 3 years old. Started swimming since then.
Yes,
Did a
sir.
lot of very active. Was your like elementary school big, or like your city, your hometown?
Ooh, it was a suburb of Texas,
Okay.
so it was fair. It's pretty decent size, I would say.
Okay.
My elementary school itself was it was big. It was 1 story, but it was a very big building.
1-story elementary school.
1 story elementary school.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 story elementary school, 1 story middle school, and 4-story high school.
That is a very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here in California, we only got 1-story everything.
1 story everything.
So
Wow.
there's no tiers to any classes or anything.
I
So
see.
1 story to 1 story until high school, right? A 4-story high
Mhm.
school.
4-story high school.
4-story high school. You remember anything from like your elementary school? What's your favorite memory, if you remember anything
Favorite memory
from elementary? One from elementary, one from middle, and one from high school. We'll start with elementary school.
Okay, so in elementary school, I used to play. So we had, especially in kindergarten, we had a lot more time to just have fun, and so we would have. I think it was an hour a day of going on the computer and just playing games. So I always went to
okay.
my favorite website called StarWars.com.
StarWars.com.
StarWars.com. I don't know if any of you guys would remember it, if you guys ever saw it, but it was just based on the TV show Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It was just a very fun battle game, and I learned all these like special access codes back in the day when I was 5 and 6 years old, to get special characters, like General Grievous and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So StarWars.com was definitely my go-to website back in elementary school.
So a lot of lightsaber battles.
Lightsaber battles, you already know.
Okay.
That was amazing.
Definitely gonna try that.
But yeah, Star Wars then got bought by I believe it was Disney. So
Yeah.
it's just not the same anymore. Like, at least the website.
Favorite memory. And what was your elementary school called?
It's
if
called
you remember?
Grapevine Elementary School.
Ooh, Grapevine. Okay.
Yes, it was in Grapevine, Texas.
Okay.
All right.
And then after elementary school, graduated in 5th grade. Do you guys do elementary K through 5 or K through 6?
K through 5.
K through 5. Okay.
5.
So K through 5. After that, you went to
Heritage Middle School.
Heritage. Okay.
Yes, that was 6 through 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think my favorite memory was probably picking up the saxophone for the first time, as I joined band in 6th grade.
Okay.
So that's when it all started. I joined band 6th grade, and I did it all the way through 12th grade. I even have my saxophone here at UCLA. So
okay.
it's where it all started. Yeah.
You go on any memorable trips in band? Because I mean, I was in band. I'll save this for mine.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're this vice versa after we switch, but
Memorable
yeah, I mean,
trips?
that was like the favorite part of band for me. We went on like a lot of trips. So,
Okay.
you guys go on any trips? Like, or like, what would you do in band, or is it mostly just performing?
No, we definitely went on a couple competition trips.
Mhm.
I went to this place called Sandy Lake, and it was just a privately owned amusement park. So this family bought a large piece of land, and I think they had a lake called Sandy Lake, right? And they literally just built like a roller coaster, a Ferris wheel, and everything on top of their land.
Wow.
So it was a band competition. They would host like yearly annual what do you call it, contest, like concert band contests. So we would probably pick 3 pieces, go compete, and get judged on it. But after we played, we got to go have fun. That was cool.
So amusement park and a lake right next to it, essentially.
Yes,
That's pretty cool.
It's like, imagine like a miniature Six Flags, or if for those of you from California, if you guys know Knott's Berry Farm, kind of like that.
Okay.
So
I'm surprised you know what that is.
Knott's Berry
How
Farm.
do you know about Knott's? How you know about Knott's?
I have a couple friends from Irvine, so they tell me about
okay.
it. Yeah.
That makes sense. Roller coasters. Any loops in the roller coasters or anything?
I don't think so. It was small scale, so it was just a up and down, turn around, like 360 around a circle type of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact about my California knowledge: I usually call California Cali, out of state. You know, I call San Francisco San Fran sometimes.
Okay,
I
yeah.
get a lot of harassment for that one. Yeah, just fun out of
Cali.
state things.
San Fran. Okay. So, band.
Mm-hmm.
Band was your favorite part. I respect that. I definitely enjoyed band too. And then after band, you carried it on to high school, right?
Carried on
Marching
to high
band.
school. Marching band.
Marching band. Okay.
Yes,
How
sir.
was that like? What was like? I had a lot of practices, right? Like.
A lot of practice. So I think the biggest part of high school band was our summer, 5 days a week, 8 to 8s. It was 12-hour practice
okay.
days, out in the Texas sun.
Ooh, what was the hottest day you guys had to practice in?
Hottest day. I mean, every day just felt hot.
Like, do you remember there's like a specific temperature? It was like 115 or something, like 120.
Honestly, I don't remember. I would say probably got up to 110 at some point,
Okay.
and it probably felt like 120. And then we would have this thing called naked time. So in band, since we practiced outside on a parking lot,
Yeah.
if it ever got past 100 degrees, we would be allowed to take our shirts off.
Okay.
So we call that naked time.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah. But definitely, we had in band. I don't know about you, Edmund, but we had 1 gallon water jugs.
Mm.
And so maybe even slightly more than a gallon. It was huge. and we would all be required to fill it up with ice and water before band practice. No one would be able to or be allowed to pass out. A lot of hydration. We have water breaks every 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a
That's good. You still played the sax in high school as well?
yes. I played it all through 9 through 12, and competed in my own contests and stuff like that. So
Okay, that's what's up.
it's
So your
super cool band.
favorite part about high school? Your
Overall,
overall, yeah, overall.
favorite part about high school, I think would be honestly homecomings.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. In Texas, we have a big tradition of making this thing called mums and garters, and they're pretty much big flowers, or like ribbon flowers that you would make. The girl would wear it as like a necklace, and it would cover her entire body, and the guy would be on the arm. And just imagine like a sunflower type thing, like a big flower. So you'd have like a little small teddy bear in the middle where like the seeds would be, and then all the ribbons outside would be like a petal, and then you'd have ribbon running down, so it'd be like the stem, stuff like that. And we make it for each other. So if you had a date, you would make it for each other, or you make it together. You can make it for yourself if you didn't have a date. It's a very big tradition.
So girls always had flowers. Guys have anything, or did the guys?
It's like the same thing. So whatever the girl had, the guy just had, but smaller. It would go on their arm.
And on their arm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys didn't do like the corsages and stuff. You guys did like that. That was the tradition. Then.
The corsages and I forgot the other one, but those are specifically for prom. So we only did that for prom.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but mums and
Dang.
garters, very southern culture thing.
So mums like a mom,
It's spelled M-U-M.
mums and gardeners.
Garters, Garters. Yeah.
Gardeners. Okay. And what high school did you go to? What was the name? I didn't get the name
It's
of that.
called Colleyville Heritage High School.
Colleyville.
Colleyville, Colleyville. That's the city I live in now, Colleyville.
And Heritage as well.
Heritage, so called CHHS, Colleyville Heritage High School.
What? So, it was also Heritage Middle School. So it kind of okay.
Exactly.
So, we got through your high school to your high school life. Now, applying to colleges, obviously. Got into UCLA.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Accepted. What would you say was the process moving from Texas to LA, or from Dallas to LA?
The physical process, I actually drove 25 hours to get here
Okay.
from Texas.
Uh-huh.
So I drove with my mom. It was the first time I moved in. It was easier for me to bring my stuff through a car rather than flying with my stuff. And I split up into 2 trips. So I have a cousin in Arizona.
Okay.
And so I stopped at his house after a 16-hour drive. So Dallas to Phoenix, Arizona, 16 hours. And then slept the night, and then spent the night with them, and then drove another 6 hours from Phoenix, Arizona to Los Angeles. So, long drive.
25 hours. That
25
is
hours
pretty
total.
long. So when you move back and everything, do you just take you gotta do the same thing? You drive back 25 hours, or?
That depends. So most of the time, since my stuff, like my big stuff is already here, I just fly back.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do have to drive back because sometimes my family want to come, and so they'll drive and then drive the car back. So it really depends on the situation. Most of the time, I do fly though. It's more convenient.
That's valid. All right, ending it off. Let's see, for your draw your life, what has been the most life-changing, what's the most life-changing thing you've gone through in your life?
In my life?
Yeah, like what's made you, that one moment that's made you who you are today?
Okay. I don't know if it's the most life-changing, but it's definitely the most memorable in my mind right now. It's the first time I ever shadowed a spine surgery over the summer.
Okay.
And the reasoning behind that is I personally want to be a neurosurgeon. And of course, neurosurgery's residency is about 9 years, so it's a long time. And I think shadowing that surgery and working with that neurosurgeon over the summer really solidified my career aspirations to be a neurosurgeon. And I think it's something I'm passionate about and something I would love to do for the rest of my life.
Definitely.
Let's see. Details about that spine surgery. It was called an anterior lumbar inner body fusion, ALIF for short. And what that means is anterior means on your backside, posterior means front, anterior means back. So anterior backside, lumbar, which is your lumbar spine, about your lower back, interbody fusion. Interbody refers to your vertebrae, right? In between vertebrae, and then fusion. So you fuse your spine to make it more stable, or to correct fractures, or give some more room for your spinal cord. So sometimes your nerve is pinched at your spine. So we go in and drill a couple holes to decompress, give it more space, and then we fuse it to make it stronger. So it was an anterior lumbar interbody fusion. The patient ended up making a full recovery with 6 or 7 very cool looking stitches.
That's a very interesting story. All right, that's a great Draw My Life. I finished, and yeah, let me just run through it one more time before we finish this video. So Mr. Shu over here was born in Dallas, Texas. This is my representation of Texas. It's not the best, but you know, not the greatest with geography either. But born September 18th, 2022. He is 20 years old currently. He was born near the center of Texas. I mean, Dallas is the heart of Texas whenever you say it. As a young kid, his parents always took him to do many sports, but his first one was swimming, and he began swimming when he was 3 years old. His parents took him to a gym or a fitness center called Lifetime Fitness, and since then he's been swimming. Played a bunch of other sports, but I drew swimming because that was like his main first one. Went to Grapevine Elementary, and his favorite part about his elementary school was playing games on the computer. So for him, every week or so, they would have an hour dedicated to playing games on the computer, and he would play on StarWars.com. So I'm pretty sure you guys all know Star Wars, like Obi-Wan, Anakin, Darth Vader, all that. And he'd basically play with them, battling lightsabers and everything, yeah. And then after elementary school, after he graduated in 5th grade, he went to Heritage Middle School. And it was then when he found his love for playing instruments, specifically the saxophone. Alto sax?
Alto.
The alto saxophone. So, yeah. After that, after he graduated in middle school, he went to high school, Colleyville Heritage High School. Sorry. I forgot one thing about his middle school. His favorite memory was in band. He went on this trip where there was these landowners who built an amusement park at their house. So there'd be a lake, and there's just roller coasters on that land right next to the lake, and there would be competitions for his band every year or so, I believe. And yeah, he competed there playing his saxophone. And his love for playing instruments carried on to high school when he joined the marching band. So here, I think the most grueling process for him was definitely during the summer. It'd be about 110 degrees in Texas. That's why I drew a red sun. It's red hot. And he would actually practice in the parking lot, which it's actually pretty interesting, because usually I know band people practice in the field, but I guess the parking lot on the super hot ground. And when it was over 100 degrees, they were allowed to take off their shirts. So at least they were able to cool down. And they did get hourly water breaks. So that's good that they're staying hydrated. Homecoming dance. I'd say he said that his favorite part about high school was definitely all the dances, bringing dates, having fun with friends. And there was a tradition that they had called mums and garters. And basically the girl would be, or dates would make each other flowers, and the girl would make the guy a flower to put on their arm, and the guy would make this big flower, don't know what it's called, but the girl would wear it around her neck basically, and it would just be this big thing that basically went all the way from her neck all the way to, I would say, her waist, and maybe even past that. After he graduated high school, senior year, applied to many colleges, and he got accepted into UCLA. As you can see on his sweater right there, UCLA, 4's up. Yeah, that's where we are right now. We're in a study room, just vibing out, doing this. And since he was from Texas, he actually drove here 25 hours to sunny, or Los Angeles, California. It's sunny in Texas too, but 25-hour drive. He actually drove his mom and moved everything here all the way to LA. And this past summer, he actually shadowed a spine surgeon. And as you can see here, here I have drawn a doctor. There's little, or not little, but Jonathan right there, standing to the side of him, and the patient laying down with his spine cut open. The spine surgeon performed a surgery called an ALIF, and yeah, it was at this point where he really realized that he wanted to go into surgery and become a neurosurgeon. So this was his point in his life where he realized he found his passion for what he wanted to do. He shadowed the spine surgeon, and he realized that he wanted to go to school to study to become pre-med and eventually go to med school and become a neurosurgeon. So yeah, that was Mr. Jonathan Shu's Draw My Life, or my Draw My Life on him. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, we'll see y'all.